Hello and welcome. I am Matt Taylor and this is my variety channel. Today I have another board game review for you and I'm going to show you how to play as well as review this board game called Lords of Waterdeep. It is a Dungeons and Dragons themed board game and it is actually one of my favorite, if not my all-time favorite board game. It is so fun and I really like it. I grew up playing Dungeons and Dragons, the role-playing game, with my brothers, and we still play it today. My friends, I've gotten some other friends into it, and it's a really fun atmosphere. It's fun to use your imagination and whatnot, and that's why I really like this board game. It's not actually playing Dungeons and Dragons, but the theme elements are there, and so it's just really neat. And so I'm going to dive right in and show you all the pieces and also how you play the game as well. And just, it's a really awesome game. I really enjoy it. I highly recommend it. And you don't have to necessarily be a Dungeons and Dragons fan to enjoy this board game. It's kind of a mix between it's got like a little bit of a Ticket to Ride element to it, where you got to get certain things. You have to get a quest, or like a Ticket to Ride. There's this little rail cards, like route cards, and you need to kind of try to complete that route. And here, instead of routes, you're gonna have quests, and you need to be able to complete those quests. So it's just really cool. I'll bring the camera in for a little closer look and show you what's going on with this game. First, here is a close-up of the front of the box. And then as we look down, here is what the box looks like on the inside. All these cool little compartments for all of the different pieces. It looks like there's a ton of different pieces, and there are, but it's really easy to use all the pieces. It's not very complicated at all. All right, so here we have the game board. And you'll notice around the edges, that's where your game pieces will advance once you get victory points. And up in the corner up here, you'll put your player tokens, and they're gonna go around this way, clockwise. And I want to point out some different elements. You have the little meeples, or your characters. And depending on how many people you're playing in the game will depend on how many you start with these. And that's really important. I'll discuss that a little bit later. So the whole goal of this game, before I forget, this game can be played with 2 to 5 players, and the age recommendation is 12 and up. Okay, so the goal of this game is to have the most victory points at the end of the game. And how do you get victory points? You get victory points by solving quests, and you get victory points for having leftover character or leftover people. Each one of these is worth 1 victory point at the end of the game. And you get victory points for money. At the end of the game, every 2 gold pieces equals 1 victory point. Look at how the design. One thing I really love about this game is the design elements are fantastic. Look at the money, isn't that cool? Even the money looks amazing. So this takes place in the fabled town of Waterdeep. And Waterdeep is a famous town in the continent of Faerun, which takes place in the land, in the realm of Dungeons and Dragons. And so we are these we're these different lords of Waterdeep, and we are all vying for control, okay? Or what I mean by that is we are all trying to get the most victory points. So we have these different game boards, and these represent the color that you'll pick. These are the Silver Stars, the City Guard, the Harpers, the Red Sashes, Knights of the Shield. And so you'll pick one of those to start. It doesn't matter which one you pick. Usually just pick your favorite color or whatnot. So let's say we're gonna have the Red Sashes. We'll just do 2 of these right now. Red Sashes and the Silver Stars are gonna be our players. And then we're gonna start with 3 guys in here, 3 guys over there. All right. And then what you'll do is you will pick a Lord of Waterdeep. These are all the lords. And you'll pick these randomly. The reason why these are important is because they give you bonuses at the end of the game. For example, Larissa Nethel. At the end of the game, you score 6 victory points for each building you control. And I'll talk about how to control buildings. Another one. Kelvin Arbenson, the Blackstaff. At the end of the game, you score 4 victory points for each Arcana quest and each Warfare quest you complete. So let's just say red is him, and blue is this guy. And then you'll put those face down underneath your game piece here so people don't see what it is. And then you'll be dealt, each of you will be dealt 2 Intrigue cards. And these are pretty neat. This Intrigue card says you can draw 1 quest card from the deck equal to the number of players. Keep 1, pass the remaining quest card to the player on your left. Each player in turn chooses 1 quest to keep and passes the rest to the left until every player has taken a quest card. That's pretty cool. This one's a utility one, graduation day. Take 2 wizards from the supply and place them in your tavern. Choose 1 opponent, and that opponent takes 1 wizard from the supply and place it in his tavern. That's cool. I'll talk about why these are important, the tavern and like the wizards and whatnot. So that person has those 2. This person gets these 2. I won't go into these, but they all do different things. And you'll put those face down. Okay. And then you'll also start with 2 quest cards apiece. And so let me explain what the quest card is. So this is a piety quest. Recruit paladins for Tyr. This requires 2 clerics, 4 fighters, and 4 gold pieces. And once you acquire that many assets, then you can turn them in on your turn, and you would complete this quest. You would get 10 victory points for completing that quest. And you, in addition, you would get 3 clerics back as well, which is pretty cool. This other quest is a skullduggery quest. Install a spy in Castle Waterdeep. You need to collect or recruit 4 thieves, 4 gold, and then your reward is 8 victory points. Also, this is a plot quest. So from now on, whenever you complete a skullduggery quest, you get 2 victory points. So that's pretty neat. So these quests are really, I mean, the quests are pretty much the game. You gotta fulfill quests, and pretty much in order to win the game. Unless you have that other player that you really want to just build up those the buildings, and you get a lot of victory points that way. But still, quests are where you're gonna get the most points. So and these quests have to be placed face up so everyone sees your quests. Okay, and usually they'll go on the. I'm only going to show mainly 1 card here because I don't have a lot of room on my table. But they'll go on this side, and then any completed quest will go on this side, and then, or in completed plot quests will go over here, and then face down will be any one that you complete will be face down right there. So pretty cool. So that's kind of the basic layout, and here's where all the new quests are, and I'll explain how to get those in a little bit. And here are the buildings. I mentioned buildings earlier. I'll explain how to get the buildings. So to start the game, what you'll do is you'll take 1 of these victory tokens and place them on each one of those buildings. And then the person who has most recently traveled to a city will start first. That's just what the rule says. You can do however you want to start first. And then, so let's just say it's Blue's turn. Now what Blue wants to do is they want to try to solve one of their quests, or they want to get a building. And so they start with this first player token, and that's important because whoever has this first player token gets to go first at the beginning of the round. And that could be very important, very strategic to try to hold on to this. Okay? So let me explain these different areas. So it's my turn, blue, and then what I need to do is I need to place this guy somewhere and then do what that is telling me to do. So if I want to buy a building, I will go here and I will pay the requisite amount. Oh, I forgot to talk about money. The first player is going to start with 4 gold, and then the next player will start with 5, and then the next player will start with 6, etc. Okay? So if I went here, let's say I want to buy this one. This building is a caravan court. When purchased, start of the round, place 2 fighters on this space. And then if someone goes here, they get to take all the fighters that are in here, and then me as the owner, I get to collect 1 fighter. So that's really cool. So I'm going to buy this and put that here. I get a victory point for that. Move my guy up 1. And then I paid my gold, okay? And now it would be red's turn. And red, let's say one of their quests, they really need some thieves. They're going to come over here for that turn and just pick up 2 of these thieves. Great. And they'll put them in their agent pool or their tavern. And then blue's turn again. Blue's going to go here and pick up a wizard. Red's turn. They want some fighters. They'll go here, pick up a couple fighters. Okay. And then blue's turn again. They're going to come up here and pick up one of these clerics. Red's last turn. So red wants to go first next turn. So red's going to come here. They'll get the first player token. And they'll get an intrigue card. Okay, utility. And it's pretty self-explanatory what each one of those does. I'm not going to go into all the different intrigue cards. Okay, pretty cool. A new building comes here. All right, that's everyone's turn. And then what we'll do is you take your guys back. And then round 2 starts. You place one of these on each one of those. And now it's round 2. Okay? So red gets to go first this time, and they're thinking, oh, they really want to pick up a quest up there. They see a quest up there that's worth 25 victory points, and they don't want anyone else to get that quest. They're going to come up here to Cliffwatch Inn. They collect 2 gold. And they get the quest card. They'll pick up that one. This one's worth 25. Infiltrate Hallister's Circle. It costs 5 wizards and 2 gold. All right, that's cool. New quest comes out. So there's a bit of strategy here because, for example, that's 25 victory points, but it takes a long time to pick up 5 wizards. Because if I go here on my turn, pick up that wizard, red cannot go there. Unless there's a card that allows you to go to, there's a card that allows you to take up that spot along with that other player. And there's other things that allow you to do that. But in general, only one person can go here at a time. So that can kind of thwart some of your plans, if you will. And then you keep going on and playing your turns and doing things. Let's say on my next turn, so it's actually red's turn. Red can't go here. They've already gone here. They're going to just pick up 4 gold right here. Okay. And then blue's turn. I could go here and pick up another building if I want. But instead, I'm going to come to Waterdeep Harbor. And I can play one of my intrigue cards. Let's say I play my intrigue card. And go on and gone. And you keep going and going and playing your turns until you get to the end. And then you count up your victory points. You count up, you know, how many of these guys you have left, and you get points for those. Your gold, you get points for those, and so forth. I do want to mention once you get to round 5, these agents are released and go back into your player pool. All right, and there's a look at Lords of Waterdeep, a Dungeons and Dragons board game. It's a very, very awesome game. I love this game. It's rich with theme elements. It's rich with awesome artwork and definitely strategy. There's definitely a huge strategy element there if you like strategy. And then if you're not too much into strategy, you can still enjoy this game, I think. It's pretty easy to learn. Each game runs about, I would say, an hour and 20 minutes to an hour and a half, depending on who you're playing with. And just, it's a really fun game. I love this game. I highly recommend it. So pick up one if you want. Down below, you'll find a link where you can find it on Amazon. It is an affiliate link, so if you do wind up getting it, I will get a small percentage of the sale, but it won't cost you any extra. I'm Matt Taylor, and this is my variety channel. Until next time, happy gaming, everyone.